Blah 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 blah. So, Gabe, what did we watch?
We watched who's her name? Sing songs.
Elsa sings songs,
Yeah.
but in a different movie.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
The sequel.
What the fuck is their actress name?
Something Mendoza? It starts with an I. She's
Idris
pretty.
Menzel or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's like I totally messed up on that. But yes, it's Frozen 2. I was actually thinking about like how many movies per se has Elsa been in as far as her character, because there's Frozen 1, there's Wreck-It Ralph
And 2.
and 2. Okay.
Idina Menzel.
Okay. I was somewhat close. But yeah, so I mean what I'm thinking about regular show, like, dude, how do you feel? Like, was it honestly like, how'd you feel about the movie?
I liked it. It was a good movie. It did not go the way I thought it would.
Yeah?
Which was a nice surprise.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was also really good too. Considering that it is a sequel, I feel like it did better than the first one as far as just what it did as far as impact and using pretty much the same characters but like with a different type of progression. Granted though, there is a subplot to the movie which is kind of like here and there, but the main story itself was definitely engaging to a point where it was character driven.
Very much so.
Yes. I mean, I know we're talking like non-spoilers at this point, and we will get into spoilers at some other point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how YouTube will feel if we do that because of Far From Home.
They got mad at us for that?
I guess so. Okay, so like that. Okay, short term or short story on that one. Yeah, that got blocked.
Nice.
Completely taken down.
Nice.
Don't know why, but I mean, we can still talk like some spoilers here and there. It's just, yeah.
Long story short, did not like Olaf in the movie.
You did not like
I
Olaf
did not
in this
like
one.
Olaf in the movie.
That's really interesting because I mean, I didn't mind Olaf being how he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was definitely different from what he was before, which was not too spoilery, but he's definitely a different personality now.
Yeah, he had his high moments, but for the majority of the movie, I did not like his character direction.
Really. But you know what? I kind of I don't want to really say it like that, but like I kind of didn't like Kristoff in this one, not as much as I did in the first one. So he's still likable. It's just not as much so because he's. I mean,
he was over exaggerated.
Yeah, over exaggerated.
What did you hear?
According to dictionary.
No.
I actually kind of wanted to hear what was at the end of it. But I don't know. He was really fixated on like a certain thing, which was like the subplot of the movie. But otherwise, like when he pulled through, he pulled through.
He did.
Yes.
And he did what he did in the last one, which is pull through in the climax.
Mm-hmm. I just think of Elsa like in this movie versus like the very first one.
Her voice sounded so different when she sang.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm just misremembering how she sounded in the first one, but she sounded a lot more high pitch.
Oh.
She was a lot more high pitch and almost squeaky when she sang.
Do you think that's like a kind of like a voice direction that she was given? Where
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, like at that point, even like in the first movie, they're pretty much like kind of considered adults, and so I don't think a lot of time has passed since movie 1 and 2.
No, almost none at all.
So it could be a direction where they want to portray like some type of maturity, especially on Elsa's side. In which case, I don't know if there was any much distinction with Anna. I think Anna just sounds the same.
Yeah, she felt very much the same. She was still herself as she was in the first one.
Yeah, very much so.
I love my sister and I'm gonna do what it takes.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very wholesome family feel in that one.
Yeah. Very goofy too.
Yeah.
When needs to be.
Dude, she still sleeps like a fucking woof.
Hey, she's keeping it real. That's all I'm saying.
She sleeps like a drunk.
She sleeps like us. That's what it is.
Kidding, dog. I sleep like Elsa.
Well, I guess you trained yourself like that. I'm like Anna. I'm just like, I wake up wherever I find myself waking up.
When I sleep, I'm done. That's it. No.
You're like,
Yeah,
just lay me in already.
I sleep like a dead man.
But
unless I pass out. When I pass out, that's when it gets gross and I'm drooling and shit.
Oh yeah, okay. There's a distinction there.
Yeah.
So what'd you think about the story? Like, they think it was enough to just feel like, okay, this seems pretty legit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the story a lot.
Yeah. It goes without saying, it does develop more. It focuses a little bit more on Elsa's powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you take that route where you feel like everything's been resolved in the first movie, which was just kind of like a family feud and where Elsa belongs, to kind of like dig a little bit deeper into that aspect as far as like the origins of how she is and how she came to be.
Yeah, she was a bit of a fixer-upper.
So I think their direction as far as like making a story in this sequel did a lot of justice, and I think it stands on its own. And I feel like the way it's made, I don't feel like you really need to see the first movie per se.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because they kind of, I mean, they do comedic ways of like retelling the story, but
yeah, you get a whole flashback of it, or a whole fucking Luis retelling Ant-Man style.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. And other than that, it felt like everything was laid out exactly how it was. Aside from like flashbacks here and there that might be like a little bit too focused on the first movie's plot, it didn't feel like it was unnecessary information. Everything was kind of given to you the moment that you were able to see the characters in the present time.
Yeah, they almost did not care about the first movie in this, and I kind of like that.
It's definitely just another step in a different direction.
With everything that like came back to the first movie, either it was the very, very quick like minute recap, or it was extrapolating more details of the story from the first one.
Yeah.
So such as the water having memory.
I thought you were focusing more on like some aspects of, well, yeah, I guess it does work like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like what is focused on the first movie are like our trolls.
Yeah, the trolls, I like them.
Yeah, but of course, like they're kind of like fortune tellers of omen type of archetype.
Yeah.
And they've been like that since the first movie, and they've kind of guided the characters very softly as far as what they need to do.
Little nudges here and there.
Yeah, and this one, it's kind of just like, oh, bad omen. We're drowning.
Ooh, we dying.
Ooh, we dying. You gotta do you, fam. But that's pretty much all I would say. It's a solid movie. The score is really good. I love the songs of this one, especially.
Oh, the songs are so good in this one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like blast a lot of them.
Sure.
But there's at least 2 or 3 songs in there that I was like, I really like this. They call back to the opening theme from the first one.
In which song?
The chanting.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's a chant callback, and I love it because it came full circle.
It's a full circle. It makes sense.
It has meaning.
It has weight. It has girth.
It has gravitas.
I think that's pretty much it. It's just a really solid movie. You can watch it like without watching the first one. I'm pretty sure Disney Plus has that already planned out. Like, oh hey, we already got it. Frozen 1, and I don't know when they're gonna release Frozen 2, but
I'm upset that it's not already on there.
But you know what it is? It's a soundtrack.
Soundtrack is already out. Yeah, Frozen's already out. Not the second one, but Frozen.
Yeah.
Twice. It's trending.
Well, that makes sense.
It's right after The Mandalorian and right before Endgame.
Well, Mandalorian's hot shit
it is right the hot shit right now.
Yes.
But enough about Disney Plus.
Okay, yes. Shall we jump into spoilers now?
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So
Olaf dies.
Olaf goes through existential crisis, as he should.
I like how we both decided to jump right on Olaf for 2 entirely different reasons.
I mean, yes, he does die. And for me, literally, like, some of the first things he says, he questions his life
Yeah.
and Anna's life. Do you think
Now that you're ancient,
now that you're ancient,
do you ever have thoughts about our ever impending doom or some shit like that? Like,
something like that?
whoa.
And she's like, no, I think about the present because I have all of you.
Yeah.
Really, just bring it back down to Disney World.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, calm down there, little buddy.
Oh man, like, I mean, how many years has it been since the first one came out?
I want to say no more than 2.
Okay,
As few as 8 months.
because you gotta think, like, that audience, especially the kids, have grown up a little bit, just a wee bit, so they do kind of understand more of like life, especially when Olaf's saying it, and makes you really think. Meanwhile, it's like Anna's like, let's move on to the main plot of the story.
Well, if you're talking about like when Frozen came out, I think that was 2012.
Okay.
So it's been 7 years since the movie came out.
Wow.
2013. 6 years since the movie came out.
That's still quite a bit of time.
Yeah. But
A lot of time to let it go, huh?
why do I bring you places? Mainly your own home. Justin. I hate you.
Followed by a long silence to create tension for the audience to feel themselves.
Yeah. But it was good. I liked it. Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I think, yeah.
I'm not a fan of angsty Olaf. It really ripped from his character. Like he was cartoony about it, but it's like it's not who you were. You were naive comic relief.
I still saw elements of that. I think he is a little bit more like his curiosity, but he also really like grappled onto what he already knew. Like in certain situations, he was very well aware that this is a very dangerous area, but that's okay. I'll just be very positive about it and just let that be the normal thing. And then he proceeds to scream.
Yeah, that's because that was still his existential angst. Is like, I don't understand because I'm too naive right now. I'll know when I'm older that this is fine. It's fine. It's normal. It's fine. And then his whole machismo breaks down and he freaks.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand what you mean by that. Like, especially when at a certain point when Kristoff like heads out, he says deuces, and like flies off with Mr. Ryder. And he's like, "We won't understand men," or something like that. And it's like, "Oh, please, you're like 2."
But it really made me not enjoy Olaf.
What were some things that you liked about Olaf?
Some things that I liked about Olaf? He had like some real good lines in there every now and again. Like,
Yeah.
His character as a whole I didn't like throughout the movie, but he did have some solid lines where I'm like, hey, Olaf.
You
You are.
You know what? I think what was a really kind of a cool thing to see for Olaf was when Elsa actually pushed him and Anna like down the hill and they get into the river and Anna's freaking out a little bit and Olaf's like, Anna, like I feel like a sense of like anger and aggression. And I was like, yes, of course I feel that way. But like, no.
I sense rising anger.
Rising anger from me because he doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
Because he's so super chipper. He never really
he doesn't understand negative feelings, and so yeah, that was a really good point. If they decided to add angsty Olaf after that, I would have appreciated it more because that is a big shift for him. Where it's like he basically got abandoned by his mom.
That's true. And yeah, it would make sense considering that like now he understands what anger is and what comes out of that. It would make more sense to make him.
He can understand a more negative outlook now. And that would cause a lot of distress and existentialism.
Yeah. Versus just being like, I don't know any of his lines for the first movie, but he's just super chipper and positive.
Oh, look, I've been impaled.
Oh look, hold on. I can hold your sword for you. Thank you. Although I think the first movie was also just as dark in certain areas, but I felt like the movie generally in this one was a bit darker, even because it does deal with the family past.
Yep.
And it deals with this idea. Well, I think I just like it generally because there is like this peace that everyone feels, but Elsa is the only one who hears this voice that calls out to her, and it's driving her nuts. And by that,
she is crazy. It was schizophrenia because it was her own voice she was hearing.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
She was hearing herself call out to herself.
Yes. So at that point, when she reaches the that river, I forget what it's called again.
Alhambra or some shit like that.
Essentially, it's just like a glacier. Essentially, just like out and about. And when she goes in there, she pretty much goes through like some kind of psychotropic like loop that you'd find out in a Far Cry game. And she just kind of digs deeper and deeper, and just like in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, she loses herself. Not like mentally, she just gets trapped in there because I guess it's just like a weird like memory like dive where she gets further in and she eventually like becomes frozen, ironically. And it's up to Anna to pick up the pieces again, which I think it's good for her character because like she is like the very quirky one out of the two sisters and kind of like is another essential like part of just like this gigantic like melting pot of personalities. For her to actually have like a lot of involvement aside from just being kind of like an anchor to Elsa until Elsa decides to break off from that. I think that it's good that she was able to play that part, and even without her powers, because Elsa actually used a lot of her powers in this one.
Holland.
Ooh. And the fifth spirit. Yes.
Yeah.
So Elsa's a fifth spirit.
She's a fifth spirit. That kind of was given away.
Yeah.
When they were talking about it in the camp.
Yeah. There's the fifth spirit, and it's like, go on.
Yeah. I was like, is that fifth spirit ice? Could it be icicles?
Could be icicles? You know, I was thinking it was a bit of a stretch. Like, what if it's water? What if it's water that Elsa, she's like a spirit of?
Yeah, that's what I thought, because she lifted water from the boat to replay the memory. I was like, oh, maybe she's just a waterbender that's very shitty and can only turn it to ice.
I mean, so it happens to everyone.
But then it wasn't.
They see the water horse, who, by the way, attempts to drown her.
Tried the shit to drown her.
That was
which
dark.
For some reason, after it knew, okay, I could do this. This works, kind of. When she has it freaking lasso and she's trying to tame it, he decided to stay completely above water. It's like, oh no, I'm being captured. Let me stay in an area where they can continue to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what? I should turn into water. Can't lasso that shit.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was expecting, because they showed, that was like literally one of the first trailers we saw, like, of Frozen 2. Her just attempting to get to this location, or for us, it seemed like she was trying to train for something.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting her to actually go all the way through, like, the third time around. She tamed a horse and, like, rode all the way over.
Yeah. She tamed water spirit and just rode its happy ass on over.
So at that end, she was actually able to do it on her own, except for...
with the aid of a horse.
With the aid of a horse, yes.
Why didn't she just make a boat?
Of ice?
Yeah.
You know, that is probably the smartest thing anyone could ever think of, but I would assume that aside from shooting icicle spears, she's really, like, grounded with her abilities.
She made a boat for Anna and Olaf.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She put them in a boat and pushed them away.
It is true. But then those are pretty rocky ways. You need to make something bigger. Like Sea Thieves galleon. But I don't know. That's a really good question.
I mean, it's not like it would ever sink. It's ice.
It's true.
Ice floats on water.
It's true. All these questions, so many valid answers. But all we get is this. A training montage, almost. I don't know. I think it's just to make for effect. I think that would have been a much more rationally sound idea for Elsa, but maybe she was just into it.
Yeah.
She got the adrenaline pumping.
Dude, her clothing is like made of ice that she just has attached to her skin.
Just like Flash's Ghost Fast clothes,
Yeah.
she has quick ice clothes.
Or Mystique.
Mystique.
And she just transforms clothes onto her.
Wait,
would that just be skin tags?
Maybe.
Gross. Gosh. I don't know. We can't not talk about it, Justin.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are we talking about the soft rock melody?
Soft rock, Christoph, yeah.
Listen, I feel like it's a pretty weak subplot, but that's kind of how they are. Kristoff's trying his hardest to propose to Anna, and it's not working to the point where she leaves. And he's like, what?
He took off to go work on a proposal. She took off to go stop Elsa. And he's just like, she left me? She abandoned me? Soft rock ballad.
Proceed to look. Did he ever look at water?
I believe he did.
He's a Disney princess.
Yeah. I think every character that sang in that movie looked at water.
At some point, yes. It's all about the reflection. Like where is it? It's not any particular body of water. It's just water. You gotta sing at water.
She had
you're a princess.
A sewer puddle.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever gets that transformation going.
All right.
But yeah, that was very strange. I feel, but I kind of understand where he's coming from. I mean, like, when you love someone, you kind of don't really think too much about anything else but that person.
Yeah.
So when it came down to the proposal, that's the big thing. That's the big thing for him.
He was terrible at it.
Yes, he was very terrible. Sven was very keen and explicit about that without really saying anything.
And then he sang with him.
He sang with him. That just nailed the coffin. He's absolutely lost it.
Yeah, he's truly gone insane.
You're that who take like that potion that Gerald took in Witcher 3.
They
made him talk.
I haven't played enough of Witcher 3.
Okay, well, he talks to Roach at some point.
Oh, nice.
Talks to his horse, and it's kind of the funniest shit too.
Nice. Does Roach talk shit?
Not too much, like maybe just passive.
Okay. So, yeah, I loved Olaf's recaps.
Yes.
Those were very Olaf, and I loved the hell out of that.
I love the captain looking at that like, oh no, Elsa, no, Anna, no.
The twist.
the twist. Yeah. Although that's another great thing was when Elsa like donned on like, I guess, fit spirit like clothes and like watched the entire recap of her life. First of all, shunning away her previous self, but also like just capping off on that other guy when the moment she saw him.
Yeah, she saw herself singing "Let It Go," and she's like, "Young angsty me." And then she saw Hans, and she said, "But."
2009 me versus 2019 me.
Yeah. 10-year later challenge.
The 10-year later challenge. She had to face it, and she's like, "Oh fuck, no."
Jesus Christ.
Also pretty cool too to be a conflict was that the spirits were enraged, and no one really knew why. And later on, they found out that it was kind of because her grandpa thought differently.
Yeah, her grandfather was an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, she well put for what she said like during the flashback as far as like what magic means. It's not just something to fear or to try to be superior over. It's just,
it's they didn't think they were strong, and we're not. It was what was it? The conflict wasn't caused by the magic users thinking they were strong. It was caused by fear that you have for them. Or something along the lines.
Yeah.
The root of the problem was he was a coward.
Yes. And even though like you see his son and their mom just kind of, or I guess their dad just kind of be openly abrasive about like the elements is versus seeing like what happened later on in the movie, as it showed that there was a lot more than just like, oh, we're peaceful now. It's like, no, I don't kind of like you guys. You guys are frightening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some tea. Oh, cool.
Bleh.
Bleh. That's what caused all that conflict. But because of all that, we found out that Elsa and Anna are part of that like particular, would you call it tribe or like type of civilization?
It's a tribe.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so they by that nature they're related to them and therefore shouldn't cause conflict at all, which was kind of like some focal point in like the lore of the story, which was like two factions, like Arendale's people and the tribe fighting off each other because something happened.
Yeah,
someone dropped the ball.
Something happened. Fighting broke out. Enraged the spirits. Yada yada yada. True love conquered all.
Pretty much, yeah. It's still very much the same morale and like in this movie too, just differently.
They were trapped for 37 years, 5 months, 22 days.
Something like that, yes. Is wow, they really kept counting.
Yeah. Like, what else do you do?
When you trap there. Did they age at all? I think they did.
They did.
Okay.
They grew some grays.
Yes. Switch from the cap. I just
Lieutenant.
The lieutenant, yeah. Yes.
Later to be general.
Mm.
He deserved that. That dude fought for 37 years.
Mm. Straight. Pretty much.
Just about, like, they let bygones be bygones for the most part, but they're still kind of really pissed at each other.
So he held it down.
Yeah.
For Arendelle. Mm. And what else is there to add? I mean, just generally, like, I think I just liked how all the characters like found their place. Chris was a little bit weird, but he kind of got over the fact that like, all right, like that's enough of that. Let's focus on what Anna needs to do right now. Mm-hmm. And on when she really, like, I think out of all of them was like kind of like at her worst point, because you know, like how in the beginning of the movie she said like, I don't really think about the future, like I just think about like the here and now with friends. And then at a certain point she's like,
her boyfriend left, her sister died, her pet died, and she was alone in a cave.
And she had to find
she got Tony'd.
Yeah. She was like
because
hopeless.
Olaf got Spidey'd.
Yes. That was, well, yeah, that did happen. I don't feel so good, as you said.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good.
That's what happened.
It happened like that.
He dusted, but instead of dusting, he flurried.
He flurried, yes. And I just felt so bad for it in that point, because like it's hard for you to get back up. But she only heard like, well, she sang in song to bring herself back up. But literally just the lyrics said that she
just do the next best thing.
Do the next best thing. And so she broke down a dam.
Yeah. Oh. Well, it can't get any worse than this. Yeah, unless we get lost. And then you starve and I give up.
You're so right. It's like, hold on, what does he do? At that point, if he just stopped caring, it's like, well, this is not going anywhere. Well, I'm just going to sit here and wait. Or do nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's a lot of things that are just kind of racking through my brain, but a lot of like Elsa's showcasing powers were really cool too. Mm-hmm. It's just a part of her, so much so that she'll still jump and still use her powers.
Yeah. Crazy. She should have made an ice unicycle.
A unicycle, or like an ice motorcycle to drive across the lake instead of a horse.
Or you know.
But I know
a boat.
I know water horse is more majestic. Ice water horse is just as majestic. But I mean, she did have that. I love. Oh, can we talk about the little what were they called? That fire spirit.
Oh, what's it called? The little newt.
Little newt, yes.
Fucking, she has her own Pascal.
Yes. It was so cute.
So cute.
It's like, hot, hot. Oh, you like that?
And he loved the cold.
Yeah, he loved the cold. sat on Olaf's like straight on top of his head, like, oh
Yeah. After he set his arms on fire.
yes. And when Elsa left, she left him like a big pile of snow, and you just see that shit just like just dig deep into the snow.
Oh yeah.
And I like how the spirits are just kind of different. I mean, like Pascal, fire, Gale is just wind.
Yeah, Gale is actual wind. Pascal is a living, breathing fire newt. Mm-hmm. The water spirit is an intangible water horse.
Mm-hmm. And Elsa's.
You got the rock golems.
Yes.
Which just look like
they are earth
beings. They just look like they're the big daddies of our little stone gnomes.
Yes. And they are huge, and they are just tired of your shit.
Dude, they're so tired of it.
Anna just said wake up twice, and they're like, and start throwing rocks at her. It was great. And then Elsa had to like level that entire like splurge of water. I was like, woo. Go off.
Dude, she took the fuck off to beat the water there.
Yeah. Oh my god, the speed, the timing from her to, like at the very bottom of what is probably the glacier to wake up like in the water, riding the horse, and then like at pretty much the next shot pop up like through the waterfall, like, and you can see Arendelle like right there. I'm like, whew, the quickness.
Dude, that horse took off.
And so now, with everything resolved and Arendelle safe, but also the mysterious mist has faded away because spirits are alright now.
Yeah.
Now we got two queens, and Elsa finds herself in a new location. She's just with the tribe now.
Yeah, she did. She pulled. God, what was her name?
Yeah. Like I've seen that trope before. And I just want to say first and foremost, I do like the fact that they decided to go in that direction where it's not like, and they live happily ever after, in the castle of Arendelle. It's like, oh, there's actually dramatic change happening. Kind of like how I described Legend of Korra as like season 2 ending, where it's like, oh shit, it's not like bad guy loses, we win. It's bad guy loses, and now I opened up a portal leading to the spirit world to run amok.
Yeah, she kind of pulled a Saria from Ocarina of Time, where it's like,
oh, okay,
I have a role here, but I have a calling over here.
Yeah.
So she kind of gave up the crown to be the spirit.
Yeah. And that's just, wow.
Oh, and also the thing that you the other thing that you're trying to connect to is Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yes. Man, it's so much alike. Like singing, like puddles and everything. Shit.
Singing, puddles. People that are really close to each other going their separate ways because it's for the better.
Mm-hmm. Damn. But for me, I understand it even more so in this movie versus Wreck-It Ralph, where I understand, but I'm still crying in the theaters. This one, though, I'm fine. This one was like, okay, that just seems natural because, like, now there's two daughters. Make use of that.
Two sides of the same bridge.
Yes. Because they need each other, but in this best case, it would just work out if one went to Arendelle and the other one just stayed.
As they play charades.
Yeah, they still keep in contact. That's cool.
Yeah. Gale keeps them in touch.
Gale keeps them in touch.
Through the best fucking paper airplane throws ever.
Yes. Do a barrel roll. And then Waterhorse provides transportation. I wonder, like, how fast can Elsa just go through that ice lake by herself? Just like... Very fast. She does it for the effect for the audience. It's like, oh, that's pretty.
I wonder how fast Elsa goes. Too what? Too fast.
Too fast.
Too furious.
Too fast, too furious. Shoot, that reminds me. I think I did a quote for that Too Fast, Too Furious in a Breath of the Wild Let's Play. But that's for another time. Right. Anything else you want to add about the movie? It's really good.
Nothing more that I haven't said in the pre-spoiler bit. Good movie. People watching either they've already watched it or they don't care about spoilers. So yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's a good movie.
your new hit song.
Yeah. Dude, when the credits rolled and I heard I was like, that sounds familiar. And then I heard lyrics and I was like, that's Brendan Urie's sexy voice. And it was.
It was. That was a very pleasant surprise.
And then they had Weezer sing another song. And all that was running through my head was Pork and Beans. God, what song did Weezer sing? I'll look it up later.
Okay. But yeah, that soft rock melody just came out of left field. But it was so funny.
You hear the guitar strum, you're like, this is soft rock.
This is off.
He even did the cliche, I'm over here angsting, but I have a head over here singing.
Wow, they really thought about it. It's like, we want you to be part of this song.
Mm-hmm.
We'll even animate exactly how you would imagine it. And so he looked at it and he was like, yeah, all right. And then here comes the end credits of him singing this full song. Oh, yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. Just a good movie. Just general recommend for it. And yeah, I guess we'll end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I guess we'll see you guys in the next discussion. Hashtag by everyone. I think we talk about Star Wars next, if everything aligns just right.
I think so.
Just right.
Just right. But we're going to listen to this song now.
Okay. Into the unknown. Hashtag bye.